everyone, welcome to our latest episode of Crafting with Kelcey. My name's Kelcey, I am the City of Flin Flon rec programmer, and today we are going to be making these adorable little rainbow clouds. Okay, so stay tuned and I'll show you how to make this. You're going to need a blank white piece of paper and a pencil to go along with it. We're going to need some markers. They do need to be washable markers for this project to work. Obviously the brand doesn't matter. I would prefer if I could buy supplies again for the thicker markers, but these will work just fine. You're going to need some glue because we're just gluing paper to paper on this project. I've decided just to use my big old bottle of craft glue, or school glue I think they call it. Just your average glue instead of a hot glue gun. Once again, you're more than welcome to use a hot glue gun. It will speed up the process, but because this is such a kid-friendly craft, I'm going the kid-friendly option. You need coffee filters. What I did is I stretched them out and I put them under something heavy and flat so that when I went to color, it was already a nice smooth surface to color on. This bit is totally optional, but I have some pink paper here that I'm going to be using to make the cheeks of our cloud and some googly eyes to add eyes. Obviously you can do these details in marker if you prefer that. If you don't want to do a face at all, I've seen some really cute ones where people just glued some cotton balls onto their cloud and made a nice fluffy effect. So whatever you would like to do. Okay, so we're going to start off with our coffee filter and we're going to color in our rainbow. So if you don't know the order of the rainbow, it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. A helpful tip I find for remembering that is Roy G. Biv. So I'm going to start off with my red or red-ish. This set didn't really have a good red. And I'm going to start on the outside corner. If you're making two rainbows, you can go all the way around, but because I'm just making one right now, I'm going around halfway. Okay, so when we're coloring this, we don't have to cover completely. Like you can see, these are kind of scribbly and I got some white spots. That's okay, because when we go on to the next steps, it'll kind of smooth that out for us. But that being said, the more pigment you have on there, the more pigment will end up on your rainbow at the end. It also helped, I got these super skinny markers, which like I said earlier, might not be the greatest for this project, but it'll work. It's what I have. And I'm too excited to go shopping again. And I want to get this started because I'm excited to post this for you guys. So rainbows are actually caused by refraction, light reflection, and dispersion in water droplets, which is pretty cool. So that means they're going to happen when it's rainy in one part of the sky, but sunny in another part. That way the light can reflect from the little water droplets from the rain. Okay, because it's focused on water droplets, it's actually very rare to see a rainbow in the winter because instead of being water droplets, they turn into snowflakes. We've definitely had our fair share of snowflakes in the past little bit, eh? Too much for me. I am ready for winter to be done. And I think I'm gonna go a little more just so that I'm safe I'm gonna glue my cloud on here, but I don't want there to be any like accidental naked spots, so I'm gonna go a little bit further down. Okay. Okay, there's our red. Move on to our orange. Ooh, if I can get the lid off. Okay. So I'm just gonna go in beside with my orange. It's okay if they overlap a little bit, right? Because when we go on to the next steps, they're gonna spread out anyway. So did you know that rainbows always come, well, not always, there are different types of rainbow, but your average rainbow is gonna have a 42-degree arc? That's pretty cool. I didn't know before I was kind of doing some research, so I had something to talk about while I color, that there's kind of like a standard rainbow measurement, which is, I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. Another thing I learned is that if you are looking, you know, if you and your friend are looking at a rainbow and you're in different places, maybe you're at your own houses and you're FaceTiming or phoning or texting, whatever, you guys are actually going to see the rainbow differently, right? Because you're getting different reflections from the places that you're at. Okay, red, orange, I'm going to grab my yellow. Roy, red, orange, yellow. Another cool thing is that if you were to look at a rainbow from a plane, it wouldn't look like the classic arch that we associate with rainbows. It actually is going to look like a full circle. That kind of blew my mind. I never thought about that, but it makes sense when you think about how things reflect. The place that has the most rainbows is Hawaii. And just another reason to go to Hawaii. I was thinking of going, you know, after, when it's safe again, just to be warm, because I'm so sick of the cold. But now, I think rainbows give me another excuse to go. Okay, that's our Roy. We're gonna do our G. G is green. Another phenomenon is double rainbows. I don't know if you guys are old enough, but there was double rainbow all the way across the sky. There was a video of someone getting really excited about the rainbow, a double rainbow, and I don't blame them, because double rainbows are pretty cool. And what causes them is when the light reflects into a water droplet more than once. Another kind of, I don't want to say sad, but, you know, when we were kids, we always fantasized about getting the gold at the end of the rainbow. Unfortunately, rainbows aren't something that are physical, right? We can't really touch them. They kind of move around as we get closer. And that's because they're just a reflection, right? Same thing as when you move around in front of the mirror. Your reflection is going to be different based on where you're standing. Okay, so we got Roy, G, B for blue. Okay. I kind of made some of my lines a little bit skinny. Preferably we would kind of fill all this in. So our water will spread it out, but you kind of don't want one, like, you know, giant circle of indigo at the end. So you might want to make your stripes a little bit thicker than mine to start out with.
We're gonna go over one more time for this one. Oops, I'm moving on you guys. Hope I wasn't on the frame for too long. Okay, blue, indigo. You know, this is where stuff started to get a little tricky for me. I don't really have an indigo marker. So what I'm gonna do, you know, this might not end up perfectly, but it's gonna be my best, is I'm gonna do another scribble of blue, but this time I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to take my purple. Ooh, trying to get the lid on the blue, it's being tricky. And I'm gonna go over top. Obviously, if you had a, you know, indigo, bluey purple kind of marker, that would be better. Hopefully this will kind of give us the same effect. I'm not sure, but I am hopeful. Okay. And then my last little stripe is going to be purple. I'm making it a little bit bigger. Another kind of issue is that my set didn't have a purple. It had a plum, which was too dark for this project. So this is actually one of my favorite pens I use for writing, so it's not quite as pigmented as the markers. It looks like it's running dry because it's one of my favorite pens, because purple is one of my favorite colors. Okay, so we got our coffee filter all colored, and we're gonna move on to spraying it next.
This next area, you're gonna want a safe work surface. I'm going to be moving out into the lunchroom because I'm filming this in my office and I don't really want to be spraying water everywhere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go out there, I'm going to set up a safe space with some paper towel. The paper towel is pretty important. When I did this the first time and I did like a practice round to make sure I knew how to do the project, I sprayed too much water and all the color came right off and onto the bare table. So I really suggest putting down paper towel. If it does get on your table or whatever, it's not a huge deal, it does wash off, but we might as well avoid it if we can. Alrighty guys, time for the fun part, which is spraying our rainbow. My spray bottle here does a nice fine mist. I find that makes it easier. Like I just said, when I did this the first time, I put too much water and all the colors just drifted off. So with the sprayer, it is a little bit easier. You can do it with a sprayer that does squirts instead, like that one right there. It's just a little bit harder. So let's give this a try. So you should start to see the colors melting a little bit. And they get kind of nice and blendy. Okay, so that's enough water for mine. I really like how the colors turned out. So I'm gonna wait here and let it dry completely. I know the waiting time's not fun, but guys, it's really worth it. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, I wasn't gonna show you guys this part, but I kind of thought it was funny. Maybe I lied. Maybe it is important to protect your workspace, because take a look at this. This is my project. This is the mess left behind. So I'm sure glad I had these paper towels. So yeah, protect your workspace.
Now that our rainbow is all done, we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna grab our white piece of paper. It's time to start making our cloud. Okay, so I'm just gonna freehand draw a cloud here. Doesn't really matter, like your cloud can look however you want. I want to make mine wider than the coffee filter. I think that makes a better effect, but it's totally up to you. So you guys are going to have to excuse my less than perfect drawing skills here. but just a big, fluffy cloud. Not thinking too much about it. Maybe I'm gonna add some more lumps. Awesome. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut out my cloud. Doesn't have to be perfect, just doing the best we can. I'm going to be turning my cloud over at the end so you can't see any pencil lines. Right? If you're doing the same, then you don't have to worry about cutting directly on the line, which is nice, especially if we're younger doing this project. Right? Scissor skills can be a little difficult sometimes, even for us adults. And there we have our cloud shape. And when I turn it over, it's a nice white blank canvas with no pencil lines on it or anything like that. Now that my cloud is cut out and I have my scissors still handy, I'm gonna grab my pink piece of paper. For myself, I'm gonna fold it in half. This way you can ensure that both of your cheeks are the same size and the same shape. Okay. I'm also just going to be using a little corner, that way I can save this paper to use for another craft. So I'm going to judge. I just want little cheeks. I'm just going to cut out my best approximate at a circle. If you wanted, you could grab something circle to trace, but I'm not too worried about it. And there we have, oops, there we have some cute little cheeks. Alrighty, it's time to assemble our cloud. So I have some glue here. And I'm just gonna spray some on the back. I guess these ones don't really matter which way the back is. Okay. They're gonna stick better if you spread the glue out more. And you can just kind of guess. Right, the cheeks are gonna be the end of your smile. So the farther apart your cheeks are, the bigger the smile is going to be. Oop. I'm dropping things as I'm gluing. I'm all sticky. That's okay. There we go. And next is the eyes. One sec, I'll wipe off this glue first. There we go. The eyes are another one where I'm probably gonna get messy. If you guys have watched my other crafting videos, I don't think there's been one where I haven't made a huge mess. I hope I'm not the only one messy crafting out there. Okay, one eye. And do. Oh no! Good enough, I think. Is that crooked? Oh well. If it's crooked, it's just gonna give him more personality. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for this to dry, and I'll check back in with you after. Now that my cloud is completely dry, I'm gonna finish it off by taking a black marker. I'm just gonna add a nice big smile. How cute is that? Now that I see it, I think I'm gonna grab a bigger marker, like a Sharpie, and I'm gonna go over it again. There we go. I like that a little bit better. All right, the next step is to assemble it. So I'm gonna grab my rainbow part and I'll check back in with you after. Alrighty, so now that we have both our cloud and our rainbow done, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trim the bottom a little bit. I'm leaving extra space so the cloud has a little bit more to stick on. I got my handy dandy glue over here. Okay, because I have a big bottle, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna loop some on and use my popsicle stick to kind of spread it out. Be careful when you're spreading it, right? Because your rainbow isn't gonna go right to the bottom of your cloud. So you don't wanna accidentally glue your project to your workstation. That'd be something I would do. Don't make a Kelcey mistake. Okay, so now, oh no, his eye fell off. That's okay, I'll fix it later. So we're just gonna stick him on and we'll let that dry. While it's drying, guys, I will fix the eye as well. And there we have him.
Thank you guys so much for crafting with me today. These turned out absolutely adorable. I think I'm gonna hang mine up on the wall behind me so you guys can see it when I make my video next week. Thank you, until next week, stay home, stay safe, bye.